What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the GINN podcast. I have no idea which camera is at me. I'm assuming it's this one. But I appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, I got my boy Ron over here. We're going to get right into it. Just because, I mean, y'all seen him before. Well, if you paid attention to the last one, y'all have seen him. But I mean, this is just kind of going to be a friendly conversation. I mean, just kind of getting him in the studio for the first time. Because obviously we're at my apartment from the last episode. But yeah, this is shit. If you don't know, I kind of backtrack a little bit about me and Ron. Worked together about 3 or 4 years ago. Wait, 2021. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yep.
Worked at Apple. Did our thing. Well, did my thing, unfortunately. And yeah, we it's been cool ever since.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Ron was actually one of the first people to actually even I don't know, this is gonna sound fucking.
I put him on game.
Nah, you were my friend. Can I say that?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Nah, he was one of the first people that actually ever talked to me and kind of basically, put me on game, let me know the whole situation with Apple, what not to do, what to do. And it just kind of went from there. Introduced me to Dustin and fucking Johnny and all the females, and because I know you know all the females over there.
Nah, he's capping.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, my bad, Karina.
Shout out, Karina.
No, we've been cool ever since. I mean, he did my podcast website, and what else did we do together, or you did like with me? I guess. That's it.
Really, just schemed.
Hell yeah! But this guy right here gives me. I'm gonna give it a little praise real quick. This guy right here gives me a lot of inspiration. Like, it's crazy. I think this was maybe about last month. He had given me a call, or maybe it was like a month after I had got to studio. Just gave me a
it was
random,
like right when you got it, I think.
Okay, and random ass call, and he just was kind of putting me on game as far as like fucking making money, coming up with another stream of income, and it was one of those things for me where I was just so kind of just busy with the actual studio, getting up and running, getting equipment, getting everything in here, and this guy was already fucking 2 steps ahead of me, kind of putting me on game as far as like what to do with the studio, how to do it, and yeah, it was just dope. So I appreciate you coming in through, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What I want to get into, I mean, because I mentioned it earlier, is the website. Because I mean, obviously you created mine, and I mean, you came away from the like essentially the 9 to 5 kind of job aspect of it, and you started Wash Media. So when did you actually start that? Because you just mentioned.
So it is now 2 years as of this month.
So there's no specific date?
No,
I'm just kidding. You didn't have to.
It's probably like July 10th or something, to be honest.
Gotcha. How's that been, bro? How's that been for you lately?
Awesome, man. It's definitely been a journey. I've learned a lot these last 2 years, and every year I reflect, and now coming up on my 2 years, I could definitely see like all the work that I've been putting in really paying off. All the little details finally adding to like a really good picture.
Yeah, that makes sense. And this is definitely, where the fuck is my water? What I want to get into too is, and I didn't tell you yesterday because I thought about this morning, is I guess risky as far as risk, like not knowing if your plan is going to work out after you leave the 9 to 5. Because when you are in a like hourly salary type job, it's the money's guaranteed as long as you show up to work and do what you have to do.
Right. When
you jump over to like the business side, and you just like literally have to. Well, what I'm trying to get at is I had to.
It's sink or swim.
Yeah, literally. And I think for me, where I have trouble with is kind of making tasks and doing them efficiently throughout the day. Because if I don't make any task, or if I don't schedule anything, then shit won't get done. And at the end, I won't be making any money. So how was that for you whenever you came out of the kind of 9 to 5 job and jumping into the whole entrepreneur kind of side of it?
Yeah. So having that amount of freedom is unbelievable. First off, you're not going to know what to do with your time at first. So it's really juggling and kind of figuring out what works for you, what doesn't. If you like working in the mornings, you might want to wake up early, but now that you have free time, you might tell yourself the night before that you stayed up till 3, like, all right, I'm going to stay up. You know, no one's going to tell me or ding me for not working that early. So at first I actually really struggled with it. There was a lot of freedom and I had access to everything, I was able to make a sale, get money, be able to go out to lunch that day if I wanted to. Or I'm at home and maybe I just want to go to the kitchen or watch TV or play games. Like I can have all that
Yeah.
available to me. So yeah, that was definitely sounds like a good time. But I mean, there's work that needs to be done and
I
it's
was
definitely inefficient.
I was telling Jay like last week that kind of left the actual like 9 to 5 scene and going ahead and jumping into like the business side of it. You're working from like from your wake up to sometimes like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and it's just doing the same thing over and over until you kind of get a process and you get it down to where you can have a set schedule and you can manage certain things and you can dish off certain things to other people so that it can take the workload off and kind of buy you more time. Because I think that's what the biggest thing for me was finding the time to do certain shit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, people get into these businesses, the entrepreneur side, and they kind of figure out fast that your time is taken very, very like just everything in general is coming at you so quick, and I think you just gotta react, and by the time you know it, it's in the end of the day, and you're trying to figure out where the fucking time went. So
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you start really spending something that's like way more valuable than time, money, which is time, and just being able to like decide, all right, well, like, yeah, I can do that if I wanted to. But again, you as like a business owner, you have to have that structure and that discipline for yourself. If you don't, you're gonna just fall out of place, and you'll know big time. And as a small business owner, if you don't have that momentum, if you like let it stay low, that's it.
Yeah.
That could be the thing that like really messes it up for yourself.
So website business, essentially, like with the actual website business, if I was a 5-year-old, how would you explain that to someone kind of first starting out and figuring out what does Ron do on a daily basis? Like when someone asks you,
explain like I'm 5.
Yeah, like what is Watch Media?
So believe it or not, young kids actually don't know what a website is. I actually asked my my 10-year-old nephew and my 12-year-old niece if they knew what a website was, and they were like, "I don't know, what is that?" And I was like, "Well, it's YouTube," and they're like, "That's an app."
Oh shit!
I'm like, "Whoa!"
Okay.
I was like, that kind of like blew my mind.
Because I mean, I'm assuming that's where they access it from, right? So they don't,
and they see it as like, oh, well, I'll download it from the App Store. They don't think of, oh, go to YouTube.com.
Yeah.
So it's that's a pretty big thing. So to a 5-year-old, I guess I would literally say that I make apps to a certain extent, like a web app. But I don't think they would really understand what that is.
Yeah. I mean, what about like a normal person, like an average person? Or just most people, I guess, in our age or maybe a little bit younger, they know what a website is. So
yeah, they 100% know what that is.
So it's kind of intuitive to kind of explain to them what exactly you do. But I mean, you get into coding, you customize the actual website. I mean, off air, he was just showing me a website he's working on right now, and it's that was pretty fucking
cool, right?
Yeah, it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he has like merchandise on it, but you mostly work with Shopify, right?
Yeah, I mainly work with e-commerce customers. So anyone that's like selling a product online would be who I work with.
What I mean, we worked for it before, so I'm kind of just asking you for this. But what other, I guess, platforms have you like touched base with, like just worked on?
So when you create a website, there's a bunch of like really easy avenues you could take. One of them, Squarespace. They're drag and drop builders. So people that don't really know how to develop or they don't really have the time, they need something made really easy. You can use Squarespace, you can use Wix, or you can use Shopify. I primarily use Shopify because I really like fashion. So a lot of my customers, they need to sell a product that's fashion oriented, and Shopify's that platform.
Yeah.
But those are other good platforms that you could get into if you really want to start like making websites for a customer. You don't necessarily need to have coding experience to sell $1,000 websites. There's tons of value on websites. Since COVID, we've seen the entire like industry flip to it and relying on it more. Let's look at restaurants. They had to do to-go orders online or putting their menu online in a QR code that you use to access it. So yeah, you could definitely use a page builder, sell a website for $1,000, and you don't need a code. If you do know how to code, you could definitely charge that up 1,000, 10,000% more.
Yeah. And it's crazy because depending on how much work you put in or what exactly the customer wants, how deep they want you to customize it.
Mhm.
I mean, you can charge the prices that
Yeah.
you're charging, and you have that on your like Instagram platform and
Mhm.
your website too as well. Like you have the prices set out there, and you can see I mean, the prices, but I don't think people really understand the value that comes with a website. Like it's
Yeah.
just I don't even know how to explain it, but I just people don't realize like how deeply you can go and customize the actual website to like very 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 detailed. So
Mhm.
it's pretty interesting that you actually do that, bro.
Yeah, man. So you need you really need three things when you like make a website, or at least that your website needs to like have.
Mhm.
So one of them is trust. If I look at your brand, I see a sketchy website, I'm out. Like I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm not gonna probably continue reading. Like I'm already
T-
shutting
t-
you out.
tell me a sketchy thing that you've seen before.
Uh, I don't know how to explain it. I guess like the best way to like if it's poorly designed
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
what I was
not
gonna
by
say.
intention. I mean, I can't really describe it, but it looks old,
That's what I was.
and like that's we gauge that. So if you have an old looking website, you need to change that because that's hurting you hard.
Mhm.
So trust. A second thing is appeal. It's got to look good. It's got to look modern. Art changes all the
Mhm.
time, so if it's not like up to date with either like a good trend or something that's relevant to like what people are used to seeing, that's out.
Yeah.
So trust and appeal, and then of course the given, which is like security. If you're making like sales, people's got to be able to trust to put their credit card information on there, or any information, whether it's their name, their email, address, anything. So trust, appeal, security, those are all
Yeah.
solid things to have that can make you a lot of money.
What's a typical time frame for like an average website?
Um,
Like for you?
for me,
Yeah.
website would probably take me like 3 to 5 days realistically. That includes doing things like prototyping,
Mhm.
creating a concept. Any idea you have, this like goes for anything. Any idea you have a concept.
Yeah.
And a concept could be like a very simple thing. It could be a sketch. It could be like a rough draft of it. But once you start having a concept, when you start to create that idea, it's a lot more realistic to go by because you have pretty much structure to create it within. If you don't have a concept, you don't know what it looks like. When you try to create it, you have no direction. And that's the worst thing a
Yeah.
creative person can have is no direction.
Damn, bro. You put in work, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is. I think that's where what I mean by value. Like, there's just people don't realize how much work it takes when you do create like websites and kind of. I mean, you've taken me through the whole process as far as getting a domain name, where to buy the cheapest one at, kind of integrating that into the Shopify part, kind of where to put it. Like, those were all things that I had no idea what I was fucking doing, and
Yeah.
you kind of just showed the way, and it was. I mean, just average person doesn't know how to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
you can. I'm sure there's YouTube videos and other things to kind of put you on game for that, but
Yeah.
most people don't know how to kind of hook those things up together so
No.
it can
And that's
run.
what's awesome about the internet. Like if you
Yeah.
got stuck, you just Google something.
Yeah.
And people like if you really wanted to learn how to make money, even if you Googled it, most people will still not make the actions that it tells you to do.
Bro. Like you're putting in action to actually figure, like find out what it is. Now you're good, and then yeah, you're not putting action to do what it's telling you to do.
Yeah, that's really like the big
Yeah, yeah.
difference with like entrepreneurs is that they're doers. And I've seen like terrible products fly,
Yeah.
but the difference is they're acting on their decision and they're going to get a return from it. If you just think, you're not going to make money from that.
Yeah. The merchandising section is crazy. And I know you recently just kind of brought out your own type of merch and apparel and brand, and yeah, so it's called Out of Touch. Out of out dash touch dash .net.
Yeah.
Okay, .net. Yeah, go ahead and shop there. Dope. There's a shirt somewhere here that he brought for me, so it's pretty fucking dope. I haven't taken a look at it, taken it out of the package, but yeah, we could talk about that. We how did you even come about with the name? Because that's very unique, if you ask me.
Yeah.
How did you even come up with that, bro?
So Out of Touch is actually from a song. It's from some like Canadian rapper that I found on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
and he doesn't even say those words in the song. So I don't know. I saw the word. I was like, wow, and it just like really resonated with the way I felt.
Was it? I mean, I don't think it was like dashed up like that, right?
No,
You
so
just
the actual song is there's spaces in between the words.
yeah, okay,
But the brand name itself, there's no spacing.
yeah.
The only reason why the domain's like that is because that was the only one available.
Really, there wasn't like
Oh, they're completely gone.
bro. I've never heard of that term.
Yeah,
Like they're how what the
I know,
fuck?
right?
Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's .net. So I'm
Mhm.
assuming if the .com was available, you would have picked it.
Yeah, I definitely would have picked that one,
Yeah.
honestly.
How the fuck?
I know. It's definitely a nice sounding word.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much been like just an evolving project of like fashion, usually like
Mhm.
one-offs. It originally started off as Washed, and Washed didn't really appeal to like what I was about because it was really like originally thoughts I had in like high school and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But now being like a lot older and having a lot different interests and figuring more out about like myself and who I am as a person, Out of Touch definitely resonates more than ever. So I'll probably never explain this to you, but Out of Touch, what it refers to is two interests that I think are pretty interesting, which in this case is technology and sex. Yeah.
Hold up. Pause. Love that.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope though.
Yeah, and that's always been like that's always been an underlying thing of like Washed, where it was like this kind of like pretty boy, playboyish kind of brand, flirty.
Okay. Yeah. I want to get into that part. So
Yeah.
how does the sex go into the actual apparel?
So Out of Touch as a whole with those two interests is the idea of being like out of touch with oneself in some way.
Okay.
So whether that's be through yourself as a human, being this one persona online, and then being this other person in real life. Maybe like your wants and needs, maybe not getting certain needs like satisfied or certain wants that you want, kind of like an ego.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sex aspect is very ego driven. But yeah, Out of Touch is definitely sex influence.
Yeah.
So like colors like pinks and blues, but that comes from like my love for R&B. That's the type of sex I'm talking about.
Bro, you just like bro, when I laugh because you said sex, so it was just like my mind was of course in the gutters. But like when you put it all together, it just made sense. Like you're going into the design aspect of it, and you have to have the colors, you have to have the concept as far as making a design for the actual apparel. So yeah, my mind was something.
Yeah, I probably didn't see that coming. It's definitely definitely an underlying tone. It also has like Japanese influences, American sportswear, definitely like big on like Nike. We have these things called tennis tees that are pretty dope. Gave one to you, which is really cool.
That's the tennis tee.
Yeah, so they're pretty much like longer sleeves, but true to fit torso.
Yeah.
So they're not big and baggy. The only thing baggy is the sleeves. It's like a drop shoulder cut. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
looks
man.
cool with shorts.
My big ass arms, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Nah.
Well, you know I got big arms. Bro, why the fuck the cameras are on? You can't be laughing like
Sorry,
that.
bro.
Wait, speaking of that, when's the last time you went to the gym, bro?
Bro, I go to the gym 5 days a week. I don't go to Culebra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking. Sorry, I had to.
I know. Sorry. Me and my girlfriend go to the gym every day.
Bet. No, you know what? I don't even know. I've seen you post on Instagram.
I post every morning.
Yeah. And if you're not following him, Ron MTZ. MRTZ. I'll put it in the description, of course. But this guy puts game, like, I wouldn't even call it game. It's just like sometimes common sense, honestly. Like, like as far as what he's putting out there. But I mean, I get it though. Some people don't really understand and comprehend what he's talking about. But some of the things are like they're just motivation and driven and trying to like get people to think outside the box. I think that's where I kind of get from those. And yeah, you do it every day and you're very, very consistent. So every day it's something different, but it kind of pertains to the advice, motivation, driven type part. So yeah, man, if you're ever lacking motivation or fucking any type of things that I just finished talking about, follow him on Instagram, get some some game.
Some game. Yeah. So it's really to like drive the conversation or start that conversation of, okay, because most people we're really used to this idea of going to work, and there's nothing against people that work a 9 to 5. You need a 9 to 5 most of the time. I wouldn't advise anyone to do what I did unless you're gonna like you're gonna risk it all. You gotta be ready to like lose it. I had bills, I had all this stuff I had to pay for, but I definitely had to like get out of my comfort zone. And it really is sink or swim. You're gonna either learn to swim at that moment, or you're never gonna do that again. But either way, what I really learned is you're gonna fail. Definitely gonna fail, and you have to be okay with failure, and you have to look at failure as an opportunity of learning. And as long as you do that, you're gonna beat everyone.
Yeah. Bro, just to go back to the fucking sink or swim, bro, same deal. I mean, obviously it was my situation was different because the pandemic happened, but it was just that instinct in me. I was like, fuck, I've been doing this for a while now. I've been kind of doing it on the side, and it was just honestly the only thing I ever knew about making money. And I knew I could make good amount of money with it if I went like full time. But the only thing is that you kind of have to rely on products releasing. So if there's ever a week or two without any like profitable releases,
which was there was nothing during the pandemic.
Yeah. So it was very, very, very hard. But I'm talking about myself. So if you're kind of new, just watching, or if you're watching and you have no idea, but basically what I do is I resell sneakers. So I don't think I've ever talked about this on the pod before, but basically what I do is I kind of just run automation programs for different websites, and kind of just auto check out shoes within seconds, essentially. So think of an app that kind of just does everything for you when you check out an item, check out a shirt, check out anything on a specific website. The things that I do is it does it automatically, like I said, within seconds. So just to kind of give you
the B word,
huh?
Just say the B word as they know it.
Oh, what are you talking about? Bots?
Bots.
Oh yeah, so bots. I mean, I just want to explain. I was gonna get to that. But yeah, so resell sneakers, and it was fucking difficult. And bro, what's even crazier is that like these shoes even now are being pushed back. Like they have certain dates they're getting released, but they're always every time just being pushed back because of the pandemic. Like the pandemic, just obviously
it's had a whole effect on the supply chains.
Obviously the most of the shit from Nike, Jordan. I don't know if Adidas is like kind of. I'm assuming it's from China, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it is.
Okay. I mean, China was affected pretty bad too as well, and yeah, man, it gets hard. But I mean, that's the kind of risk that I was kind of had to think about, because I took a week off from actually doing anything just to figure out what the fuck I was gonna do, and I was just like, this is the only way I knew how to make money, other than a 9 to 5. Let's fucking run with it. Let's see what I can do. And then of course I just started this at the same time. So yeah, man, it's risky. Nice. But I was gonna say, going back to the Instagram story every single morning, it's funny and it never fails. And just get to the end and it's just like websites starting at $6.99.
Oh my god.
Never fails, but you know what, bro? Like,
yeah,
that shit is catchy. Like you're in tune with going to the Instagram story. You're like, fuck, like you're kind of feeling the motivation part, and then you fucking hit them with the price of the websites. And I mean, I'm not too sure on how good it works for you or how.
That's exactly how it does.
Yeah,
it happens. So I'm gonna give you all some free game for your viewers of the GINN podcast. So if you ever want to start anything, what you really need to leverage is your social media. Especially when you start your business, usually the first customers that you have are your friends or people that follow you.
Yeah.
So if you have, let's say, 1,000 people, realistically, a good 100 plus of those people are going to be your customers, especially because 10% of them are going to see that post. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to sell a product, if you do this formula, I swear it'll work. I swear you'll get a sell. No cap. So start posting. That could be either post on your social media actual like page, or you could do stories. I always do stories because people check stories more. And not only that, when I do a post, it might not necessarily post on the people's timelines that I want them to see. And you also got to remember, you're going to see them at the very top if they're at the story.
Yeah.
Give them a story to follow. So when you make like a story post, have it to where you can have like 1 to maybe like, let's say like 6, 8 things. And then like have a conversation started. Maybe the first thing is like the very beginning. This is the way I started. Watch. So I'll make a statement. I'll say something like, it could be really hard, like balancing your schedule. And then the second post, I'll make a question. I'll ask the question for the audience. Hey, Ron, what's good ways of balancing out my schedule? All right, so I've led you from the first to the second post. Now the next posts are going to be how you balance your schedule. Maybe it could be one thing, start a to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, which is start prioritizing stuff. Or a third thing, give yourself rest, something like that. But I've led you from multiple points, and you're going to continue, especially after the third point. Let's say I decide not to include a third point. You're going to assume there's another point. In this case, this is where I do the switch up. Websites at $6.99.
Yeah. Bro, at first I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how does he do that? But then this conversation, and then I just kind of figured out, like, you, and I mean, we talked about it before, because I mean, just coming off the inspiration part I was talking about when I first started, we've kind of talked about the whole me getting onto social media, me kind of figuring out, or me just posting on social media and people figuring out the way I am and kind of interacting with them too as well. Like, again, we talked about this on the first podcast, like very, very shy, very, very timid. Things didn't, I was like, this conversation we're having right now, I would never had this like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, definitely not. Very quiet guy. You can tell just when I first met him.
Yeah. And bro, like I'm dead serious. Like the way I talk right now is nowhere near, and it's fucking insane. But I mean, practice kind of helps out. And
this ain't even Gilbert. This is Gin right now.
Yeah,
speaking.
Literally. And, but yeah, so I forgot where I was going into. Oh, but the social media thing. So just kind of putting that out there and having that interaction with people on social media kind of shows them how I am, and it kind of creates this kind of audience where you can sell a product, or where you can push your podcast, or where you can kind of do different things, and people, whether you post or not, I mean, if you create content, more than likely people 9 times out of 10 people are going to see, even if they don't interact with it. So it's kind of I mean, one of those things where you just have to post and kind of forget about it, because that's what I do. I post stories, or I post a podcast, and I kind of just, I don't even look at it till maybe about 12 hours later, like essentially, because I'm just like, fuck, if they view it, they view it. If not, then move on to the next one. Like at some point in time, I'm going to capture something that they're interested in, and they're going to go ahead and watch. So
yeah, consistency when it comes to your posting is going to be the best thing. Don't even look at quality too much, because quality, it's good, but there's no guarantee that it's going to be super effective. So I always found that posting at a similar time throughout the day in a similar fashion really does help, because people, they're expecting things. You follow those fact pages back on like Twitter in the day. You're expecting random trivial stuff. If you get to a behavior where people are able to predict it and they start liking it, they're going to keep coming back for more and more. I also found too, like what I do, I wake up, go to the gym. I'm making all these postings at the gym. I'm on my 10-minute warm up. I have 8 posts already up. I'm done. After that, during my workout, I'm getting messages. Hey, what's this? How do I get involved in this? How do I start doing this? I'm ready for my website. Sometimes I may have a conversation, like let's say one morning, 2 weeks later, that guy's going to hit me up the next time I post, like that posting on maybe the same day. He's like, I'm ready. Happens a lot. You plant a seed.
Yeah, of course. And bro, I'm telling you, like this is probably like the 15th time I've talked about on the podcast. Like there's always something that's going to resonate with somebody, whether like, as long as you keep putting and being consistent and putting the content out, like it's just the way it is. Like not everybody's going to be persuaded to watch your podcast or persuaded to reach out to you to get a website. But if you're putting that information out, consistently.
Yeah.
They have
Someone
to. Like,
will, yeah.
there's no way that someone's not gonna do it because they're like, it's just, I guess it's just the way people work. Like, is if you see it um, a lot, you're gonna like, interact with it at some point in time. Like
Yeah.
I think I've seen it for myself too as well. Like, there's different podcasts that I mean, a huge one that I've never really talked about that I watch consistently is Joe Rogan. Like, I've had no idea who Joe Rogan is other than
The Fear Factor guy.
Fear
Nah, just
Factor
kidding.
and him being that was a long time ago. Him being an MMA commentator. That's what I just knew him as. Had no idea he ran a podcast, and bro, he's been doing it since like I don't know 2008. Maybe, don't quote me
Wow.
on that, but it's
Yeah.
been a while. And yeah, I fucking got into his podcast, and it was one of those things where it's just like I followed him, but I didn't really kind of look at his post. And then one time I was just like, saw his thing, saw he did a podcast, and I just checked it out, and then fucking ran down the rabbit hole. And this was maybe about 4 years ago.
Mhm.
And I mean, he has like all these different type of people on here. So
Yeah.
if I mean, if he wouldn't have posted that day, I probably would have never found out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Would have never found out, would have never interacted with it. And that's kind of just the thing that I'm trying to get at is just fucking post and kind of forget about it if
Yeah.
you're
Just
having
post.
if you're having like anxiety or anything like that about the whole people judging you and kind of that.
Yeah. Most
fashion. But
people like they may think a certain way, but I mean, you can't control other people.
Yeah.
Just do you. If I can make a post that only takes me like 30 seconds to post, and that's the difference between me making like $800 or not,
yeah,
I'm gonna make that post.
hell yeah. Yeah, bro, it's really easy. Some people, man, I'm not gonna like talk down on people because I used to be the same way. Because so I know exactly like where these people are coming from and the kind of judgment you might think that people are gonna talk about or think they're gonna say. But I mean, some of these people that I follow, I haven't talked to since high school, so it's kind of one of those things like, who gives a fuck? Like that, they're not people that I interact with all the time, and they're
Yeah.
not people that I would kind of just they're just not my group of friends. But I mean, they're still cool to like say what's up to, say what's
Yeah.
acquaintances, say how you been, what are you into, how can we make money together, shit
That's
like
the
that. So,
conversation I'd rather have.
yeah, literally.
I'm
And
not trying to talk about what happened in 2014.
yeah, and and I think that's I say that because I've had conversations like that with people from high school. Like, fuck, how can we? I mean, we're old as fuck now. How can we make some fucking money, man? Like,
Yeah,
that's-
let's make something happen. Let's
Yeah.
talk about an idea or what can we do? Like we got money flowing, like
Mhm.
let's put it to use.
yeah,
That's definitely something I realized like kind of like growing up is like there's not too many people really about it.
yeah. It's most people, man. I want to figure out how much people are like in the 9 to 5 kind of area. Like I said, it's nothing
Everyone.
bad. Yeah, like I want to figure out like the population as far as like the business entrepreneur side versus like the 9 to 5. I'm gonna Google it.
I heard a cool quote the other day. It was I've never heard anyone become a millionaire from their job.
Yeah, yeah. You always have to do something outside.
Yeah. And you're always gonna get paid snickle fritz. You gotta remember that guy that's like quoting the price for like, let's say when we used to flip like phones,
Mhm.
like those phones were $700, $900, $1,000, and we were getting paid like $17.
Yep.
And we sold 4 of them at once. We made someone else like $4K, and we made $18.
Or I mean, less than that. I mean, it was like 30 minutes of work. So it was
Oh
like,
yeah.
but I mean, if we do, yeah, that,
But even then, we got like a fixed rate.
yeah, man. Damn, that's crazy. I never even thought about that. Man, even if we sold MacBooks or sold fucking
Yeah.
the iMacs or just a bundle all together.
The way I started thinking was like we were making probably like 130 a day for a
1,000.
whole day.
1,000?
No, like dollars.
Oh, you're
Like
talking
our
about
work day
you're talking about
got us paid that much.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine only making $130 a day.
Yeah, it's
That sounds terrible, bro.
5 days a week,
5 days a week.
or maybe even less
12
than
to
that,
9. Your whole day.
or maybe even less than that. Because
What if I told you for a whole day, I put you in a room for 120, $28?
yeah, fuck out of here.
Would you be like, you would definitely say no to me, even if I offer that to like a normal person. But like, let's say I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you benefits.
Yeah,
You're gonna be around some people. You're gonna sell some cool tech. You
You're gonna
still
get-
do it, maybe, but you're still in a room,
yeah,
and your day's still gone.
bro. And first starting off, I mean, I don't know about you, but it was part time, so it was like 20, 25 hours. So it was less than that. You're still maybe pushing out the same amount of product, maybe not, depending on your work ethic. And it's just like, yeah, you're making so much money for the company, and you're, damn, I never even thought about that, bro.
That's how they got us. They just say like, hey, like we're gonna give you like this. We're gonna treat it hourly.
Yeah.
But you're gonna work at least 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, hell yeah, $120. I guess when you don't necessarily know how to make money or like understand that you could tell someone, like for example, like resale, like we can go by StockX, but at one point in time, like resale was like, bro, I got these shoes 9.5, 500
Popping.
right now. And why? Because I'm the only one that has them that you know right now, which is size.
Yeah, StockX for sure changed the game. Bro.
StockX definitely changed the game, bro. That was like unheard of. I would go buy Flight Club. I'd be like, damn. And Flight Club would hella upcharge.
That was like tax times 5, bro. Yeah, it was pretty fucking.
Now you got GOAT, which is like almost like dirt cheap.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though is eBay. eBay's been on their game too as well. I mean, they kind of have a similar process. You know, they don't even charge fees if it's over $100.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't really like those StockX fees. I'm like paying for the little tag pretty much.
Yeah. And you know, so I ship out labels through eBay, and it obviously gets authenticated through this whole process, but each time it's like it gets shipped to this warehouse and it just says SneakerCon, and then it has like the person's name, and then it has like I guess
it's like a verified buy kind of deal. Like someone authenticates it?
Yeah, someone authenticates it. But I just thought it was pretty cool because SneakerCon obviously is this whole type of
it's that big event.
Yeah, event, and I'm assuming that they have people that fucking
that's pretty cool.
Verify the shit for them. So
I've even heard of like StockX though, like flopping on some stuff though.
Yeah, me too, bro.
That kind of sketched me out. I was like,
I've never bought off. I've sold on StockX, just never bought anything off of it.
Probably bought one thing, but I mean, the type of shoe I bought, I probably couldn't legit check it.
Right? Which one
was it's like some Twin Strikes. It's like these Adidas that were like some like travel brand collab. It was pretty dope.
Yeah bro. Hard. Back when, I mean, Yeezys are kind of iffy now. There's some designs are dope, some are not. I mean, got the Yeezy slides on.
Yes, sir.
Nah, but what I was gonna say is when Yeezys were like very, very popping, 2015, 2016, maybe a little before that, they people would like, obviously I was selling them on the side, still working 9 to 5, and people would ask me to like legit check the shoes or just make sure they're real. No idea. Still to this day.
Dang, I actually know like
no idea.
For
bro.
like the version 2s, I could tell, but not like.
I mean, obviously, if they're like really bad,
yeah,
I'm just like, what the fuck kind of stitching is that? Like, I can that shit. But if they're very, very good fakes, I would have no idea. No idea, bro.
I mean, there's fake Louis everywhere here.
Yeah.
Never know most of the time.
You have one, right?
A fake Louis?
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. No, bro.
You're douchebag, bro.
Bro, even at that, like, what I started doing though is like start figuring out how to like verify like Jordans, and that was pretty time consuming because I mean obviously there's a lot of fucking retros, but it's just pretty cool to see like you can catch people like just fucking lying out of their ass, like, but that's a whole nother fucking topic. I want to get back to the out of touch. What do y'all have like launches, or you just kind of put merch on the website every so often?
They're kind of like quiet launches. They're not like real big. There's not a whole lot of hype. Like really what the culture we want to build is really people that are drawn to it naturally.
Yeah.
We don't want to really like force it because the type of person that we're looking for is very specific. They're kind of like their own person. So we're trying to get like the influencer before like putting everyone like on it.
Yeah.
If we get the influencer, we would like that, and we could see how it looks. And there's a lot of like edgy stuff too that we're really wanting to put out, to the point where we're kind of scared of like kind of talking to certain people until we release those like more edgy stuff.
That's interesting.
But there's definitely like another shirt that's going to touch on some of the points that we wanted to touch. That that not everyone will wear, but it's what we want.
You start selling crop tops?
I like crop tops, like as like a sportswear thing. I probably couldn't wear one right now.
Nah. I got some scissors over there. We can make that shit a crop top.
It's just essentials, brother. Hey,
Oh, it is. I did see
Yeah.
that. Never mind. We're not cutting the bitch. But that's great. So when the idea of making this tennis tee, you had a person in mind, or you
Yeah, I
had
did.
like a group audience in mind when
I
making
did.
it, and it wasn't just for everybody.
No,
That's interesting.
it's always the whole idea has always been about exclusivity, but
Yeah.
mainly because we want the right message to be on the right people. It's always been like an expression about art over like profit.
Why that, and not just for everybody?
Not everyone could convey the message that we want to be conveyed. Not saying that no one could wear it, but there's definitely like exclusivity from the amount that we print, from
I see. Yeah.
types of shirt we print. Yeah, it's definitely for a certain person.
What's the biggest thing you learned from starting this whole out of like apparel? Because I'm sure there's a lot of shit you've learned.
Yeah.
A lot of shit that kind of was just like go with the flow type thing, and kind of
It's expensive. It's
Yeah.
expensive if you want to do it creatively, at least.
as far as like what's the most expensive part? The actual
I spent more on Out of Touch than I ever have on Wash Media in one setting.
is it just the apparel, like the actual
Yeah,
physical
like everything
merchandise?
that came along with it. So like I started Wash Media with like zero.
Yeah.
Operationally, I probably have nearly spent $1,000 to operate it, but without a touch, it was immediately like $1,000 out the bat.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
That's crazy. What was I mean, kind of going from that, I mean, you see the risk. I mean, there's always risk with
Yeah.
everything, but what was for you, what was the kind of the light at the end of the tunnel when starting?
Gotta create, bro. Gotta make new things. I want to make stuff, so this is always gonna be fashion's always been like a love and expression I've had.
Yeah.
So for me, it was really about I've went through the mall already 20 times. I still haven't found the shirt I like. What am I waiting for? I gotta make it.
How hard was it to figure out the material, figure out the kind of the design? Like how hard were those things? It was pretty hard.
I already knew what it was supposed to look like. I knew there was nothing that was gonna offer me that at like the starting level.
Yeah.
So I looked towards found this one shirt that was designed in Paris, but was mimicked off Japanese fashion. So it was like European fashion stylists dressing or creating like a Japanese garment, but being sold in America. I like love that idea.
Yeah, that's dope.
So I found that garment and
Just ran with it.
I was like, this is the tennis tee.
So your shirts, the one you have, the tennis tee,
Yeah.
is that the one with the logo on the back bottom?
The tennis tee is a style.
Oh, okay. So
that one in the logo in the bottom, the first drop, or the ones you saw like forever ago before they dropped,
yeah.
that's a tennis tee.
Okay, so it's a plain shirt logo on the bottom. Why that design? Because you don't see that ever, or I don't even.
It was meant to be tucked in. So when you would so the shirt he's referring to is a shirt that has a design on the lower back. It's not on the actual tail of the shirt, but it's like a little bit before the middle.
Okay.
But the purpose is so you could tuck the shirt in, and the design would sit on your waistband.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Why that though? Because that's a
Because
definitely.
I tucked in my shirts.
Do you?
I did at that time when I created it.
How long ago was this? Because I feel like this was like
those are really old.
2 years ago.
They're about like a year old. But yeah,
A year ago?
when I tucked in my shirt a lot, it was like a fitness thing. So that's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like where the sportswear comes in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never seen you tucked in your shirt.
I would actually tuck it in from the back, but not in the front.
Oh my god, what is going on?
I know, bro.
I'm just
But it
kidding.
looks cool though. It looks really, really cool in shorts. And
Yeah.
like it's really inspired by tennis fashion.
Interesting.
Particularly Andre Agassi.
Yeah. I got some hot shot questions for you, bro. You ready?
I'm ready.
These can only be answered in either one sentence or one word.
Okay.
Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Bro, they're not even that hard, dog. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I have them in order, but let me just mix them up. What's one thing you think other people value but you don't? It can be fashion, it can be social media, it can be
I guess social media following. I don't really care about how many followers I had. I don't have like a ton, but I don't have none. But I've never
okay.
been one, even from like high school, to be like, damn, I need like 1,000+ followers.
By this day
Yeah.
or by this time. Yeah.
Honestly, I wish I would have, because what I'm doing now,
Yeah.
I would have blown it out of the water. And now I have people that do have a social media following that are doing nothing with it.
I've seen that, bro. And that's the hard part about it. I mean, they might not want to do that part, but I don't think they kind of see
I don't think they're aware of the resource that they have.
Yeah. And that's kind of the crazy part. But next one, what's the best advice you've ever received?
Monday sets the tone for the week.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it, bro.
Shout out to Goat Vic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that bro, I'm sure you've seen it. The collection he's about to drop. I guess it's just like a championships type style.
Mm-hmm. It was like it looks like a Lakers kind of vibe.
She was pretty dope. All right, on the flip side, what's the worst advice you ever been told?
Don't ask questions.
Ooh, okay. Just sit there and listen. Oh,
yep. That was the worst advice I've ever gotten.
But I mean, that's pretty bad. Because I'm trying to think of a scenario where someone tells me,
always ask questions.
Always.
Never be okay with it. If you don't understand it, that's a cue.
Mm-hmm.
Try to find out more.
Let's go, bro. Let me see. What's one thing you're trying to grow or develop right now, other than the two things we talked about?
What am I trying to grow?
Grow or develop.
Grow or develop.
If you can talk about it, because I know some of the shit you're sneaky. So
I really want to get better with my time. Like, I'm trying to get it to where I'm like 100% efficient, and it's like this lifestyle where I'm like out and about, and really I'm just doing everything from my phone. So I really want to be able to level up myself.
Time management is hard, bro.
It is, bro.
And I mean, we touched on it in the beginning. Like, that was one of the things that I struggled with the most, because I mean, you pinpointed on the dot. You can literally make money for about 2 or 3 hours in a day, or maybe even less than that, maybe 30 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
That you can make in a week at a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And you have the rest of the week, maybe even the rest of the next 2 weeks, like you can do whatever you want. And I think that's where my mind had to switch, where I have to be I have to think of different things to do, like just to keep myself busy, just to keep myself growing, just to keep myself like just in tune with what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to figure out, because it can easily be just you don't have to do any of it.
Yeah, you can make $1,000 sale. One time I've had like two $700 invoices paid like at once, and it's like, dang, and it's like 11.
Yeah.
I want to chill.
Yeah. I want to smoke.
I want to chill.
No, bro, and I get it. Like I've done the same thing too as well. Like, it's just one of those things where you just have to keep grinding. Like, you just have to get in the mindset of like, fuck, this money is cool and all. Like, you can pay your bills in one transaction or 3 or 4, and just go get more, and then kind of do the rest, whatever you.
But that's a bad, unhealthy mindset. If you think like that, don't think like that.
Think like what?
Think like, oh, I got the bread. Like, it's time to like chill. Like,
oh yeah.
I saw a really good motivational thing where it was like, I could kill a crocodile with my bare hands, and they were like, what? And he was just saying, all I need to do is feed it, and as soon as it's fed, it's paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And pretty much where he was going with this is, once you get satisfied with like maybe something you're aiming for, or you reach your goal, it's real easy to slip into that comfort zone and lose all your momentum. You got to stay hungry. You got to keep doing what you need to, because there's always more and more work to be done.
Clickbait, bro. That's gonna be my clickbait for the episode.
Yeah.
Shit. Anything you want to fucking talk about? Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say before we kind of end this episode?
I really got much. You touch up on the points that I can like elaborate as much as I can.
Nah, this was a good one, bro. This was kind of went a little off topic, a little off tangent for like
That's good
15,
though.
20 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro, it was good. Like we're normal conversation, like we always, like we do on FaceTime every so often. But
Dang, you want to be your mentor or what? Oh,
please,
Vic's gonna be my mentor, bro.
for real, that's what's up.
I'm gonna pay him. Oh, here's a good one.
Yeah, go
This
for
could
it.
be like, I don't know, cut, whatever. But mentors. Something that has like really opened my eyes about like mentorships. You should get a mentor for your skill.
Okay.
Always get a mentor for something that you're good at. Because then you'll probably, if you find a guy who's good and then like is getting paid for it, that guy, perfect. Story about that, Louis Vuitton. Homeless. Started chilling with some dudes that made boxes and leather, or trunks to be exact.
Yeah.
They put him on game, the rest is history. And you should have a lifestyle mentor. Someone that's not the same guy that is still good at, like, let's say that skill, but maybe he's just good at like grinding. And that's where like he comes in. You know, I need someone to be able to like coach me about like these other opportunities. They're maybe a little bit more open, a little bit more diversified in what they get involved in versus that one guy who's like a super expert at like a skill. So if you get those two mentors, bro,
You'll be set.
you're gonna be set.
Yeah.
Most people just get one, and there's not a problem with that. It's always better to have direction and leadership than none.
Mm-hmm.
But diversified mentorships, you can learn everything from everyone, but you can't learn everything from someone.
Bar.
Bar.
This is a fucking bar, bro.
Yeah.
But shit, Ron, I appreciate you stopping by, dog.
Sir, thank you.
Like I said, this is second time in the studio. I just wanted him to come through, have a conversation, talk about what he's doing, talk about what he's been doing, future goals, kind of just the whole aspect of it. So, yeah, Ron Martinez, Ron MRTZ, I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Follow him, Instagram, Twitter, right too?
Yeah, but I'm not really on Twitter anymore. It's all Instagram right now.
Bro, get back on Twitter.
All right.
dog.
Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Websites for $6.99.
Hit him with that. Nah, but I appreciate you, man. If you're still watching right now, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, whatever on YouTube. Help out this fucking channel. Go ahead and subscribe. I know you want to see more fucking content. One time for Ron. One more time. Appreciate you, dog.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, of course, man. Till then, till next time. Peace.
Later.
We are out here.